Hey everybody, welcome to episode 11 of our Let's Make a Turn-Based RPG on Prpject Spark. I teased you guys with this brain last time, and today this video is going to be very, I would say simple. I may even launch 2 episodes today because we are going to make our level up system, and it should go quite smooth. So go into this cube that we made last time, and we're going to name some pages. Main, next page, values, and last page, level up. Alright, here, let's see, let's start with our main. We're going to say once, call page values. We're going to copy this line, and we're going to have a call page level up. We'll use this here in just a moment, just because it was a similar line of code. I'm putting it there. In our values, we need to set anything that will be so. Anything that will be so when we first start the game. So base level equals 1. Experience equals 0. And we're going to have a new value called, and actually just keep everything alphabetized, just to respect the alphabetization, whatever, to respect alphabetical order. We're going to start with XP required instead of putting required XP. So this means whenever we're searching for XP, XP required will be right there. XP required equals 50. Alright, now we have these. We can say when XP is greater than or equal to XP required. I'll show you what I meant. We're searching, XP required, call page level up right here. What that means, we're going to come over here to level up. And what's going to happen when we level up? We have a couple things. Our base level is going to be incremented by 1. And our XP required is going to have a new value, right? But we're going to say XP required equals XP required plus parentheses XP required, pardon me, multiplied by 0.75 and parentheses. Alright. So I want to do another thing. I want to show you something here. Let's say we use a display meter, okay? And let's say we put experience and we put max required experience, and we'll just say we display that above. What's going to happen is this. If you're level 1, to get to level 2, you need 50 experience. Let's say you have 10 experience, okay? Let's use the number 100 just to make percentages easy for those who don't know how to convert percentages, okay? So we all know that if you have 10 experience and your experience required is 100, you have 10%. So your bar is going to be 10% full, right? Well, what if to get to level 3, it's 200 experience and you haven't started that level at all? Well, you're going to need to get 200 experience, right? Well, what happens is your experience goes up every single level. What you're going to see is this. When you level up, your experience is 100, your experience required is 200. Sorry, is 100. When you level up, so when you level up the first time, your experience is 100, your experience required is 200. Your bar is already going to be halfway filled. If you ever notice when you level up in Prpject Spark, look at the top right screen, see my green bar? It never actually resets to 0% when we level up, because that's how they have it programmed, is your bar is already going to show progress based on what your previous level was. But what I want is I want our bar to reset back to 0%, maybe some extra if you had some extra experience from the previous level, but I want our bar to reset back to 0% every single time. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new variable called experience bar adjustment. Okay. This is going to be called, pardon me, I'm going to have to rename it. This is going to be called experience bar adjustment. Okay. Now, experience bar adjustment is going to equal required experience, or experience required. That means experience bar adjustment is going to be whatever our experience was, whatever our experience requirement was for the previous level, right? The reason we're going to do this is this. We're going to have this here twice, and we're going to have two more values that we make. It's like my P is not working. Your experience bar minimum and your experience bar maximum. Okay, experience bar minimum, experience bar maximum. It's going to be required XP minus experience. So when we hit level 2, what's going to happen here is this. Level 1, it takes 100 experience, right? That's experience required. When we hit level 2, our experience is 100. Our required experience was 100. So this gets down to 0. So it basically resets our experience bar back to 0. But whenever we get experience, this is still going to be our experience, basically. It's going to give us the difference between the minimum and the required amount. Because what we're going to do here is XP required equals XP bar max equals XP sorry. This is our experience adjustment, experience bar adjustment. So everything I just explained is probably way confusing for you. Minus experience required. And we're going to do this. Experience bar minimum, experience bar maximum. Now, when we level up, which we'll add a quick way to do that. When we level up, our bar will reset to 0% or a little over 0% if we earned extra experience, if we got an overflow of experience. So that kind of solves a couple problems. We're going to say when right trigger pressed, experience is incremented by 10. Okay, easy enough. Easy enough. So let's go ahead and test that. I'm gonna hit the right trigger 4 times. 5, sorry. Now this time what you'll notice is we're gonna have a little bit of overhang. Why? Because the requirement is it ends in a 5 instead of in a 0. So we're gonna have an extra 5 experience. It's gonna happen one more time. Now it won't happen for a while. Okay? So our bar is resetting back to 0 every time because we used that adjustment variable. Okay? Now what we need to do now is we need to say when the battle is over, we need our players to get an experience reward, right? So we have an experience reward here. We're going to copy that. We're going to bring it down. And what I want is for each of players, experience is going to be incremented by experience reward. Now, there is a little bit of a problem here, okay? For each of players, experience incremented by experience reward. It's going to keep running this line of code, and we don't really want that to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this countdown timer at 4. We're going to move it down to right here. This may create some issues later, but I don't think so. But part of what we're doing is we're learning, right? So countdown timer 3, that line of code, this destroy, is child to that. It is relative to this. It is not child to the for each of loop, okay? It's not. Basically, you want to indent it one time. You want it to be child to the countdown timer of 3 seconds, okay? Easy peasy. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to this reward thing. I want to show you something. Earlier, there was a line of code that I got rid of, and it was creating some problems. It's actually a destroy line of code that's underneath this once segment here. We're going to destroy it, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to get into the game, and we're going to enter combat. And we're going to see if we... Oh, whoops, I didn't actually add these stats to the players yet. So grab this cube, we're going to put it over here, and we're going to make this a template. And we're going to get into these brains here. We're going to copy either one of these lines. We're going to in-world picker our base level system. We're going to create a new string called level system. Okay. Base level system, bam. And we're going to put this into each and every one of our characters. They each need to add that brain. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to test this and make sure that it works with all of our characters. Okay, we have 3 bars above our head now. We're going to fight 3 goblins, so we're going to get 60 experience. That should be enough to level each one of our characters up. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a long fight. So what I want you to do is this. This will be good for troubleshooting for the rest of the game design process. Just put their strength to 200 and their agility to 200 right now. That way we'll just do that with one of them. That way he's super strong and his speed is super high, so he can pretty much constantly attack. Don't do that with all of them. You run into some bugs that we haven't fixed yet. So yeah, 20 experience earned. And sure enough, our bar is filled 20%. So that red bar on the bottom is our experience bar. You can color it yellow if you want for now, so you can see the difference. We should be 80% leveled. Let's get into one more fight just to see what happens when we level up. If I'm not mistaken, it should increase our hit points also. Yeah, our hit points are now 80 on that character. On all our characters' hit points went up. Sweet. Let's go one more fight. We got 3 goblins now. Alright. Sweet. So we're taking care of these are our invisible characters over here. Okay, cool. So we have this level system created, and I did mention that today was going to be a short video. That probably means that I'll end up posting 2 today. So keep your eye out for another one. This is episode 11. We'll be going into episode 12. We'll probably do a couple of bug fixes, and again, we're going to be working towards making this look a little better, look a little cleaner, work on the UI in combat. I'm not going to be designing a lot of the world. This is pretty much going to be a starter kit, so eventually what I'll do is I'll post this world, or you can just make it along with me, but I'll eventually post this world, and my hope is that people will create worlds around it and just use this to design RPGs. You want an RPG but you don't want to do the work for it? Well, I guess just download my world and remix it. So anyway, you guys have